Ethereum and altcoins are ready to play catch up with Bitcoin. Over the past few months, Bitcoin has been outperforming both Ethereum and altcoins, but I think that it's time to see a potential altcoin season. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the Ethereum chart with a potential trade idea, and we are also going to be discussing one of the most interesting altcoin charts out there right now, in which I do think that that altcoin could potentially have a 100% rally over the upcoming weeks. Let's start off with the Ethereum chart, because what we can see on Ethereum currently is that Ethereum is still range bound, and this is what we call classic wave 4 behavior. When we are looking at Elliott waves, we always have 5 waves in which we have 3 impulsive waves and 2 corrective waves. Wave 4 is one of those corrective waves, and very often within those wave 4s we see very rangy price action and very choppy price action. That is exactly what we have been seeing on Ethereum. But what we can also see on Ethereum is that we have swept the range low, right? And we are currently testing that range high resistance area for the 4th time, in which we have been testing it for 3 times already, and currently we are testing it for the 4th time, in which we have seen a beautiful retest of the 200 EMA and a 200 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame that resulted in a beautiful deviation of the mid-range and another reclaim. Right now, what I'm expecting for Ethereum, if we check the lower time frames, is a potential breakout over the upcoming days. And what I'm expecting is that if we have a look at the current fixed range volume profile for Ethereum over here, what we can see if we mark out the value area high level over here for Ethereum is that the value area high currently aligns right beneath the quarterly level of the range over here. Now, just like we have seen a beautiful deviation beneath the mid-range, I'm potentially going to wait for a potential deviation beneath the quarterly level, in which we are going to hold the value area high, in which that leads into a reclaim of that quarterly level. And if you see anything like this, in which we are going to sweep beneath the quarterly level and hold the value area high as support and then reclaim that quarterly level again, this is a massive long trigger for me to add another long position on Ethereum with our invalidation over here. Okay, those that have been watching the video of Monday know that my analysis has been playing out perfectly. I told you guys, if we are going to see a retest of the mid-range after we reclaim it, I'm going to be entering a long position, and this is the current long position that I'm holding over here. As you guys know, that if you are part of the community, we are holding the long position with the signal over here, as you guys can see. But I shared this exact plan and trading idea in Monday's YouTube video as well. If you guys want to prove, make sure to watch it back. Now, to add another long position, like I said, I'm expecting a sweep into that value area high, and around that area is also where we have this entire breaker block on the 1-hourly time frame, right? So on the lower time frames, we can see that above the breaker block we have some sell side liquidity resting beneath this low over here. So it's definitely something to take into account, in which we might dip a little bit beneath that value area high, which is the light blue line over here, right? Bounce, reject at the quarterly level, sweep that sell side liquidity into the breaker block, then reclaim the value area high and that quarterly level, and then you have a very clean long position being offered on the pullback, on the retest of that quarterly level, in which you can then enter a long position over here with your entry at the quarterly level, stop loss beneath the local low that we formed, and our target is something that we are going to discuss right now, because like I said, I'm expecting a rally on Ethereum and altcoins, and I do believe that Ethereum can rally up to 30% in the upcoming 2 weeks. If I'm quickly going to remove these drawings from our chart, I'm going to show you guys the targets that I have for Ethereum right now. Just on the daily time frame, there's 2 very important buy side liquidity targets. The first one being the top of this low probability bearish order block over here around $2,457, which is quite close, right? We have front run it a little bit, which is why I do think this is our first main target. Now, the second and most important target is the top of this order block over here around $2,965. And from the current price, we can see that that's still an increasement of approximately 30%. It's 25% from the current price. If we're going to see a bit of a pullback like I'm expecting potentially, then we might see an increasement of approximately 30%, like I said at the beginning of the video. So definitely Ethereum, very interesting currently. We are ranging. This is classic wave 4 behavior, in which this might be wave 4 before getting that final impulsive structure towards the upside. But there's one altcoin out there, guys, right now that is looking even more interesting. So let's dive into the chart of that altcoin, and that altcoin is OP. OP is definitely very interesting. If we look at the current OP chart, we can see that OP is trading inside of an extremely clear range. As I've been teaching you guys, a range needs 3 pivots, either 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom, or 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. And what we are seeing over here is that we have a beautiful pivot over here, a beautiful pivot over here. Then our third pivot is exactly aligning with our first pivot, making up for a beautiful range low. Now we have seen a deviation of the range low, and that deviation led into a break of structure to the upside over here, which confirmed the deviation and the reclaim. Now we know that technically speaking, after deviation of the range low, if you have an unswept liquidity pool above the range high, your next price objective should be the range high liquidity pool. And that is exactly the case right now with OP. So what we can do is we can look and identify potential entry points. And I have a few of them that are looking quite interesting. Let's also have a look at the fixed range volume profile of the current range, in which we can see that we have the value area low aligning over here with this hour 1 breaker block, right? So previous supply that failed to hold as resistance is now acting as demand, as support, and it exactly aligns with the value area low of this current range. Now we can also see that as our second POI, we have a local bullish liquidity sweep over here that resulted into this expansional move towards the upside, which makes this a high probability bullish order block, right? Because we also have this bullish hour 1 fair value gap aligning, which is the second requirement. So we have the bullish liquidity sweep while the order block was being formed as our first requirement, bullish fair value gap above the order block as our second one, break in structure towards the upside as our third one. The only thing that we are missing currently to be a very high probability order block is an inducement, but nevertheless still a nice order block as our second POI. But there's something that we have to be aware of right now, and it's the fact that we have this range low, in which this low over here might be a front run, might be an inducement of this bullish hour 1 order block that exactly aligns with that range low. So in my opinion, for OP, we have 3 different POIs. Now, we can choose either POI for an entry and pick various lows for a stop loss. But in my opinion, as I've been teaching you guys, you always want to use the highest probability setups out there, even if that decreases your RR a little bit. Win rate should not be underestimated. If you can higher the probability for your trade to succeed, you should always pick that option. It's not our job to pick every single trade setup out there. It's our job as traders to only pick the highest probability setups out there. And in this case, that is to pick 3 different entry points, in which we have our first entry point over here, a little bit above this breaker block, because you want to front run that breaker block, because many people are looking to long the top of the breaker block. Then we have our second entry over here at this bullish order block over here. And then our third entry is at this range low and bullish order block over here, in which many people, guys, are going to be placing their stops beneath this low over here. And we don't want to be part of the retail traders. We want to be one step ahead of them. And so we do not want to place our stops where everyone is going to place their stops. We want to be one step ahead, and we want to always enter where people are getting wrecked. And in that case, people will get wrecked if this low gets swept. Now that's where we have our third entry point, like I explained a little bit ago, right? Third entry point exactly inside of that liquidity pool where many people are getting wrecked. Now the higher time frame of OP is looking primed for 100% increasement, okay? The higher time frame of OP is looking primed. If we check the higher time frame for OP, we can identify a potential 5-wave impulsive structure towards the upside again, in which this is our wave 1, this is our first corrective wave, we have now finished the third impulsive structure. We are currently within wave 4 before getting wave 5 towards the upside. That means to measure our target for that wave 5, we can start at the bottom of wave 2, which is all the way over here. With the trend-based FIB extension, go towards the end of wave 3, back to the end of wave 4, and then we can switch on the 1-to-1 FIB and the 1.618 FIB as our main targets. And the 1-to-1 FIB extension, which is the first target for wave 5, is still an increasement of approximately 62% away. The 1.618, which aligns around $7.80, is approximately a 113% increasement. Now, like I've been stating, this price action over here, just like we were seeing on Ethereum, is looking like classic wave 4 behavior before getting that final impulsive structure towards the upside. So that means that for our long positions, we have some pretty ambitious targets, but I do think that according to the chart, that these targets can get reached on OP. In my opinion, this is a cleanly looking trade idea. Definitely, if you guys want the exact idea for this trade signal, if you want the exact entry points, stop loss, and take profit targets, make sure to join our Discord community. The link can be found in the description down below. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys do have any questions after watching today's update on Ethereum and OP, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and let's see if we can get an altcoin season.